Morning, Los Angeles. Hope you got your flu shot. Reports in 5 states that a strange virus is going around, so if you're not feeling well, go home, take care of yourself.
Artificial fear.
Alright, so we're here, new equipment.
Oh shit, check.
Check. I got blue balls!
Yeah.
Really got a blue ball. I upgraded some equipment today to help me. Hold on, shimmy. The MountainMan, we have a omnidirectional microphone. Look at this!
Holy shit.
All the other ones right here, all jealous in the corner.
Yeah, not being used.
That's
Left
okay!
out.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. So, Walking Dead's done.
Walking Dead's done.
We didn't check the over-under.
No.
63 minutes was...
It was 63:12, so we'll have to double check and
bring it up on a different podcast.
Just post it when you post it.
Podcast. You know what episode this is?
16.
No, 197 of
Oh,
the Droid.
I thought you were talking...
Oh,
shit.
Three away from the big 200. And we take next weekend off. But are we? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's the weekend off. What's that?
Well, we have the Fast and the Furious 7. We're going to go see that. And
Yeah.
we could do a podcast about that, maybe.
Maybe.
And then the big 200, and we're going to put something together for that, and we carry on. But then the week after that, we premiere our new show, Droid of Thrones.
Oh.
Game of Thrones.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. Kind of excited. Can it beat last year? I don't know. I've never watched someone's head pop like a zit before, but I have now.
Well, wait till next week. You get to see it again. Marathon.
So let's get going on The Walking Dead. We had a lot happen in 63 minutes.
And I wasn't too impressed.
I don't think it was a bad episode, but for what I would expect from a finale of a phenomenal season, it wasn't a good episode.
No.
The entire season has almost been borderline perfect, short of, I think, 3 episodes that we kind of groaned over.
Yeah.
Like the one in the barn, and then there was, I don't remember the other one. The whole, when they first got to Alexandria, like, it's fucking boring. Then Rick has, like, that whole moment.
Oh, the Leave It to Beaver moment? Yes.
Tyrese has his hallucination moment with the governor, which kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still
and
not
Bob.
too
Less a foot.
Oh, Bob.
R.I.P. Bob's
He's
foot.
just hopping along.
Yeah.
His favorite music is what again? Hip-hop.
Oh,
jeez, bad joke. So, in this episode, we got to touch every single character in 63 minutes. Where do you want to start, Mr. Note-Taker?
I guess we could start with right at the opening. Oh, hi, Morgan.
Oh, I did squeak. I won't lie. I did squeak.
Well, it's
like
about
Morgan.
fucking time.
Poor guy has been a reoccurring character this entire show. I think season 2 was the only season he did not have a cameo.
Yeah.
And they finally see him. And not only is he Morgan, he is now Donatello. Donatello is not dead.
Ninja Turtle.
He's now Black Morgan. I mean,
so all of a sudden in the comic books, it's no longer going to be Donatello. It's going to be Morgan.
he sheds his shell and goes to The Walking Dead. And he's quite lethal, may we add.
He's very zen.
More explanation to the W's happened.
Yes.
So they seem to be, could we say slavers? Could we say...
I don't know if I would call them slavers, but basically they'd had their little base set up and they were talking about the wolves and these tribes, and he was going to take them back, but they weren't going to take them back alive. So
Yep.
It maybe undead slavers?
Maybe.
I don't know.
They have some really weird stuff, but we'll get to that because it's further along. But then Morgan dispatches them with a bow staff.
Yep.
They call him Bowie for short.
Oh.
Oh,
that was a Bowie knife. That's a different story.
Geez.
Bad reference.
You call that a knife? This is a knife. Yeah, Crocodile Dundee reference. And then he beats the crap out of him and
leaves them in the car he wakes up in.
He courteous. It was nice.
Yeah, but not before honking the car horn.
Hey, listen, he gave them a fighting chance, which is a lot more. And then we went to, obviously, the whole show started. Then we opened to what?
Rick waking up.
Yep. He has the vintage tape all over his face. If you know, if I don't know if you remember this, but a couple episodes we did from the Droids of the Walking Dead, there was an actual comic strip I put on the actual marker, and it's Rick, and he's all bandaged up.
Oh, okay.
That's where that's from in that aspect there. So Rick is poised into a very interesting situation. There's a town hall meeting about to occur, and Carol gives him up, and everyone's like,
To a point.
To a point.
Basically, yeah. She basically, says it was all Rick, that got the guns, even though she did at his request, kind of thing.
yeah.
Because everyone else was there and not everyone was in on it.
Right.
Michonne especially.
Right. And, of course, it's not that they didn't trust Michonne. They just, because she had her heart set on the whole Alexandria situation.
It's our home now. It's like, this is what we need. And she, at this point, like I say, with her being kind of the moral compass now, I'm just waiting for her to die.
She is the worst looking Herschel I've ever seen in my entire life. God. But unanimously decided that they're going to try talking at this said town hall meeting, and if it does not work, well, there could be possible casualties.
Yeah.
Possible.
And they basically work out some kind of a plan B. Basically says, if they don't listen, then we're going to hold them up and threaten them.
Pretty much. Very hesitant, but Rick makes it very clear he has no problem putting someone down if he has to, but he's very hesitant in doing so. And then we jump to another storyline arc. Which one was the next one?
At that point, we go to the mass burial with Sasha.
Fucked up. What'd you do today? Cuddle with some bodies and shit?
Yeah.
That was kind of fucking weird. Again, then really proves the point. I think I said that like 2-3 episodes ago. I'm like, she's clearly wanting to die.
She snapped.
She lost her boyfriend, her boyfriend's foot, her boyfriend, and then her brother, and her brother's arm. Like, no one's handy at this point. Like,
or footy.
They're not going to be good at sports, is what I'm trying to get across. But he's a Tyrese.
Special Olympics, maybe.
Chad Coleman's a very nice guy. Sure, we met him. He was a very nice guy. Which we then jump to another storyline arc, because constantly this episode's like storyline. I understand why now it was an hour and a half or 63-minute runtime. They really banged out every storyline so that you're like, okay, so at least I know where we're at for everybody, except for 2, which we'll get, I think, which are next.
The next one, Glen and Nicholas.
I disagree. That's all I'm going to say with that storyline.
Yeah, this whole arc, Glen's a pussy.
But apparently he's got fight in him.
He's got some fight to
He's
him.
like the John Cena of the Walking Dead.
He's got heart.
Oh,
he's
God.
got heart. Here we go. I'm going to bring it up.
Okay, so after coming back from that, I actually think I do. Yeah, I do have the clip somewhere. I'm sure I can throw that in there.
Yeah.
Just for Mark, because Mark brought up something.
Yeah, but he sees him climbing over the wall.
Okay, but let me ask you. You are a fairly intelligent person. If you notice someone climbing the wall and you're like, this is really odd, I will just follow them. It makes perfect sense. Or tell someone of authority going, one of your dudes is climbing the fence there. Kind of odd. Can we do like a search party? Because we still haven't even figured out how, one, Glen took a bullet to the shoulder, which fucking hurt. Did he break that guy's leg? That's what he did, wasn't it?
He gave him a nice stomp.
I think that leg was broken. He was carrying him back.
Oh, I'm sure it gave a good
fucking
twist.
Hurt me.
Yeah, there was a nice crunch.
But and then at one point, as what's his face again? Not Glen. Nicholas was mounting him to punch him.
Yeah.
The walkers came up, and then he got away. But then you got like 2 or 3 walkers on Glen. He should have been dead. I'm not saying that Glen is not a crafty fuck. He has survived 5 seasons, which technically he should have died in 2. But and he still has not grown a mustache. Poor fucker. I know.
He's Asian, what do you want?
Well, that's kind of raw, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well.
But
truth hurts sometimes.
Love hurts. No.
Oh,
jeez, Dazed and Confused. Imagine if he was in Dazed and Confused.
Oh, God.
Fuck. Let's see. And I just don't get how he got out of that situation. He catches up with the guy, and then they have another melee. But the fight was actually not that bad. Like, the choreography of the fight was good, even though apparently he's gotten better with fighting.
He can throw a punch now.
And he can also get thumbed in the bullet hole. Very well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about that. That wasn't too bad.
It was dirty, but whatever. It works.
You got to do what you got to do in this, end of the world apocalypse here. Who's next?
At that point, Gabriel. Let's go with him.
Oh, chicken shit Gabriel. I fucking cannot stand this character.
Well, we'll get to the ending part of it.
Oh, fuck, he needs to be put down. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, there's just no real nice way to put it. It's just, you're kind of looking at that character going, he needs to be taken out behind the shed and put down. He's clearly a sick puppy at this point. He goes out to sacrifice himself as a martyr, which... Was that kind of infracting on religion? I'm not sure.
You're not supposed to commit suicide. That's bad.
No, it depends on what religion. Maybe. Who knows?
Well,
maybe. But he goes out to be a martyr, and he puts it, and he's like, "Take me now." And as usual, as his character is like, "Take me now." Bad idea.
I'm gonna wuss out, and never mind.
Pussy.
I'm actually gonna kill
this
one.
This is fucking annoying. Honestly, his character needs to catch a bullet. So his character, this is the best part. After dispatching the zombie that he basically begged to eat him, the zombie was minding his own business.
Yeah, he was having some lunch.
He was having lunch. He's been vaccinated. He's up to date on all his papers. He was just eating lunch, minding his own business. He even ignored him when he was whistling at him for the longest time. Yeah. So then he has to go and kill him.
Gets all up in his grill.
And then he tears his head off because he already was wearing a noose. I like how everyone's okay with the fact that these zombies have nooses around their neck. They're like,
well, it wasn't Gabriel that had the noose around his neck.
No. Don't make this a race thing. No,
I didn't.
No, I'm just saying. It's just funny how he's like, oh, look, a zombie with a noose around his neck. No one's like, does anyone else find this kind of concerning?
Well,
that people are hanging zombies?
Well, they've got a whole whack of them. They've been pinning them up. And
well, yeah, we don't. Well, did we know that at this point? We didn't know that at this point, though.
They've been... No, not the two guys from the car.
Yeah.
But the rest of the Alexandria people, they were hanging them, stringing them up and playing with them.
And but then you question their morality, like, has their mind broke at this point? So then Gabriel rips his head off by using the noose that's already pre-hung. See what I did there?
Oh.
And then tore his head off and, now the other guy was still alive. The guy the zombie was having for dinner.
All of his guts hanging out.
It's just the whole... What's with the zombies eating the lips?
Apparently,
you notice that?
Tasty. Like, maybe it tastes like chicken.
No, my lips don't taste like chicken.
Yeah, I'll take a chunk and find out.
No, I'm gonna pass on that. Zombies should have lips. Turtles should not have lips. That's
good point.
Good point. And then he kills that guy as well. And then he curls up in the fetal position on the road. And my reaction was, why can't there be a random car?
Mm-hmm.
Just ping.
A train.
A train?
Yeah, why
on
not?
On a road?
Well, anything
he was on the road.
Hit him. Okay.
Dirt bike. Humvee. Tank. Airplane.
No.
Too much? Too soon?
Too soon.
Okay, well, we'll pass on that. And then we had to deal with his storyline for longer. And then we moved on to the next storyline. I'm not joking you. There's this many storylines.
There's like 35. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I lost track.
We're trying to burn through it. Anyways, next is it Daryl?
Daryl.
Following a guy in a red poncho. Daryl. Trying to save the day. Daryl. Should not have opened up the canned trailer hatch. Should not. Like, I mean, when Aaron was like reaching down, he was trying to pull off the license plate. For some reason, I just had a vision of a zombie go, just because he just happens to be underneath it.
Yeah, possible.
You called bullshit on something, which I would get to, but of course, it was clearly given to me that there were zombies in the trailers. He even saw there was even a shot, if you recall, where he kind of leaned down and he looked at the trailer before he opened it. He saw a shadow pass, and he still went, I still open it. And that kind of concerns me because Daryl's character has always been
pretty cautious.
It's not that I don't think he has any fucks to give. I think he's just not being as cautious as he used to be anymore. And for a minute there, I actually thought he was going to die.
Maybe.
Spoiler.
Well, yeah, they kind of go into this factory where they've lost said guy in red poncho. Aaron's like, well, it'd be good for us to bring back some food to feed him when we do find him. So that everything looks pretty clear. There's
Stop.
only a
I have to
handful.
stop you here. Name every single time that they've gone to a supermarket and there was no casualties.
You make a good point.
Exactly. The first episode of season 4, I think it was, the Beth's boyfriend that lasted like half an episode, done. Why? Because Bob was drinking on the job. And then what happened when they went to the next supermarket? Bob got bit. Tainted meat. Exactly. So what happened in this situation? It was a trap. And I even said before they even opened it, because I saw the cans hanging down, like, dude, this is a trap.
Yeah.
It's like you're an Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Like, I mean,
It's a trap.
it's a trap. That's my horrible impersonation. Sure enough, Daryl, being the cautious person, went, okay, boom, boom, oh shit.
And it was funny because it's like, okay, all the doors pop open, they come out, but then, like, immediately thereafter, there's like 50 behind them.
That was
Like,
kind of
what?
awesome.
Did they just, like, teleport?
Respawn.
Oh, respawn.
I hate when it happens when you're playing
Oh.
Diablo and they just fucking
Yeah,
respawn
fucking
and
respawn.
shit.
Fuck that.
That's a very high
Respawn's
respawn
gay.
rate. That was actually quite funny. And then they're in this car, which even that was just like, I don't know.
So
The note.
Yeah, they basically
There's a
dive
crumpled
into a
up
car.
fucking receipt.
Yeah, it was like, it's a trap, bad people coming. You know, it's, no shit.
But before that, I forgot to tell you, the part that he called bullshit on is that Daryl grabbed a chain and he swung it and he took off 3 zombies'
Three heads with one swing of the chain. Yeah, I call total bullshit.
There was
Total
some-
bullshit.
I have to admit, the deaths have been pretty good in this episode.
Like,
though. Zombie
half the
deaths has been
time
pretty good.
when they swing a sword, it gets stuck halfway.
Well, they did
okay?
that one in the show,
It's a
so.
sword.
But he did kill a zombie with a license plate.
Yeah, it took a couple hacks, but he did.
I think he got one hack.
No, it took 2 or 3 hacks to get it, I
Jesus.
think. But yeah,
Hammer
like
time.
the swords will get caught halfway. Yet a chain is going to go through 3 of them. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I don't know. I don't know what... Maybe we should get a mortician on the show and really talk to us about this. About body...
I
Can we get Ben
guarantee
Chino
you
on the
they
show?
would. Yeah, he would probably confirm
Would
it.
he come on the show? We actually
Maybe.
know mortician. Like, I mean, the body is going to eventually start decomposing. I'm sure things become a little bit brittle after time. I'm not defending the chain. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Could they become
Then
that
we're
gelatin?
going to come into physics. As soon as it hits that first one, the
Oh
chain's
shit!
going
Are we
to
gonna talk
deflect.
religion versus evolution next?
Yeah.
Oh no!
no,
We never
I'll
talk
win.
religion. You never talk about religion with your
No,
friends.
you
It's
know
a
what?
rule.
No, I call bullshit on this, and you're not going to win the argument. So just
I'm
give
not
it up.
gonna win the argument. I just thought it was still pretty cool in the end. So what's next in the storyline?
At that point, we got pretty much everyone.
We did the first lap.
the first
Holy
lap.
shit, you got a lot of notes, man.
Yeah,
You're a
I
beast.
told you.
You're a
I fucking,
beast.
yeah.
Beast.
At that point, I guess we can jump to. There's nothing of so much. Oh, Carol visiting Pete.
That was actually kind of epic.
It was kind
So
of.
now we got flowers, we got cookies, and now we got casseroles.
Well, this is a second casserole.
The second casserole.
The first one, Deanna didn't care for.
No, he didn't like the casserole apparently.
Apparently, he didn't even try it. He just
So,
dumped it on the floor.
Porch Dick had a
Good old porch dick.
Good old Porch Dick. I don't remember his name, but we'll just refer to him. Pete. Pete. Really? Pete the Porch Dick?
Porch dick Pete.
Porch Dick Pete. I cannot tell Pete that. And I can't call my friend Pete Porch Dick Pete. He would not be happy about that.
We're not talking about that Pete.
I know.
We're talking about the douchebag in Walking Dead.
I know, but now it's like I want to call someone Porch Dick Pete for fun, but I don't know any other Petes besides the one Pete, and that's not even his real name. His real name is Mike. He goes by, I don't know. Anyways, so Carol pays him a visit, puts a knife to his chin, and politely tells him to fuck off.
Basically.
It's polite.
Or,
it was
well,
polite.
no,
It was pretty polite.
She politely told him to come at her.
Come at me, bro.
It's like, come at me, bro.
I just thought of.
And he's like, no.
I thought of.
And then she basically, in essence, basically says, you got no balls. You have no dick.
But that
Fuck
was a
off.
very powerful moment for her, because that is the first time that she technically stood up to someone who is a abuser.
Yeah.
Because if we go back to her, I think last week's episode, we discussed the fact that her husband used to abuse her, or was the week episode before that?
It's been talked about in a number of episodes.
But this is the point of her empowerment, where she put the knife to the guy's throat, basically said, go for it. I don't know, when she said, come at me, I was thinking, come at me, bro, come at me. Like she was like Matt Castleback or some shit like that. I don't know. You didn't see? Did you ever see that Kenny Powers video?
Probably not.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. But Matt Castleback's like, come at me, bro, come at me. And I'm just like, oh, that'd be totally awesome if she did that. So he had a childish freak out after. Smashed the casserole. Hey, look, good casserole.
And he screamed that it wasn't his house. I don't know.
Well, he's in a timeout.
Maybe
he
he's
should
like
beat his children and his wife.
Maybe he should be, like everyone says, Carl, stay in the house. Pete, stay in the house.
Carl stayed in the house this episode.
No, he didn't.
When?
Well, he was out of the house for a long time, and then he comes back.
But in this episode, he was in the house.
Kind of.
And
no one told him to stay in the house, but he did.
That's bullshit. Rick told him to stay home.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, shit,
you're right.
MountainMan.
You're right.
All right, next.
Well, we're going to jump back to Daryl and Aaron.
Daryl.
At that point, they're stuck in the car, and then Daryl has a moment. He's going to, be the martyr and save the day himself, but not before he has a cigarette.
Gotta
have that last smoke. Gotta have that last
dart.
Gotta have
that cool hand Luke look.
And who saves the day? Fucking Donatello.
Oh my god, that was awesome. I don't even care what anyone says to that. That was fucking awesome. That Morgan saves the day, beats the shit out of these all these zombies. They get out of the car, they flee, they lock the door, the gate, and that's when the big moment happens. Is that they invite him back to the camp, and that's when he pulls out the map, and then
Daryl makes the connection with Rick and everything. I'm just kind of thinking, like, okay, what kind of timeline, though, was it where Rick and everybody had left the church? They drove, okay? Mm-hmm. They drove, at least most of the way. Mm-hmm. Morgan's got 2 feet.
2 feet and a heartbeat.
Apparently, he can run 60 miles an hour. Or whatever.
It's Morgan. This is the same guy.
He was a couple of days behind them. They haven't been in Alexandria all that long.
They did stay at the church for quite a long time, so he could have.
Yeah, but they were gone for like what?
But we don't know how far away Alexandria was from the actual church, though, do we? Do we actually have an idea distance-wise?
Well, they were still in fucking Georgia. Were they not?
I don't know where they were.
Or at least they were starting
on the outskirts of Georgia.
Yeah, okay, but still, we're talking a pretty good trek.
Did they have MapQuest? Oh, wouldn't shit,
work.
MapQuest.
Fuck, Yahoo Maps?
Yahoo Maps.
Yeah.
I thought that map looked familiar.
I don't know, I call bullshit on that whole deal, but...
You don't know that he doesn't have a car, though. He could have had a car.
He woke up in a car.
But
it was kind of smashed.
Into a tree.
Yeah, and it'd been there a while.
I don't know. And then he's got the rabbit's foot now, too.
Oh, yeah,
Still up there. Next.
Where
are we? Are we almost
Morgan
at the
saves
end?
a fucking day, blah, blah, blah.
And then...
Eugene and Abraham.
Deep moment.
Deep moment for them, kind of, letting bygones be bygones.
It's good that they get that patched up, even though I still agree with the fact that Abraham was completely justified in the forearm knockout. No, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, we should put him into the UFC. And all he does is land forearms.
One forearm shot. That's it. Everyone's out cold.
Like, I know it won't never ever happen in real life, but still.
Yeah, it's
that
getting
fucking
late.
hurt. Yeah, we're fucking tired.
This is late. Like, we had to wait. We waited until the episode was done. Then we downloaded, and then we had to grab another copy. Because the first one bit the bullet. So, yeah, this is a late one. This is like, what, 1:15 in the morning?
And this won't be loaded for another 30 minutes.
We're
almost there.
We're almost there. But the last thing, Gabriel comes back from his quote-unquote walk.
He did not find God. He definitely did not find God. Did not find God.
But when he comes back,
he had no fucks.
No, he had no fucks.
No fucks to give.
Whoever was on duty, he's like, yeah, by the way, can you get the door?
But it only solidified the point that Rick was making the entire time. That you have to be prepared for anything at that given time. 3 or 4 walkers got through, if I'm right. It's like
that
3,
as far as we know.
That we know. And Rick dispatched them by himself.
Yeah. One rather gruesomely.
he was getting ready to warm up to go to this town hall meeting, which everyone was already at, and he happened to look out the window and saw the gate wide fucking open.
And then he noticed the blood and guts on the handle. He's like, oh, someone's in here.
Only solidifies the point that he always tries to make.
Town hall meeting basically kicks off. They start talking. They're wondering where Rick is. They're wondering where Glen is at that point. They're like, hold on. He'll be here. Doesn't. So they kind of have everything and they go off about, Rick's side of things through Maggie and Carol, and Deanna goes on her side. She talks about the discussion with Gabriel that Maggie had overheard.
And Maggie, prior to the town hall meeting, she did try to break bread with everyone first.
Yeah.
And she tried talking to the senator before, and I think they definitely tried the diplomatic way. I think she was just so set in her ways about, well, Rick is now a threat, but in all reality, yeah, sure, he did snap, and that was the best part of it. It's like, he fucking snapped, dude. But what can you do? They made a valid point. You did not go through what we went through. You did not see the things that we did see.
Yeah.
And to go back to, who made the child comment? It was Carol who made the child comment.
Yeah.
They're all children. And I agree to it. They have done a fantastic feat. They built a huge fence, a very well fortified fence. But when it comes down to the end of the day, no one has the balls to do what needs to be done.
Nope.
Which then leads to two more situations. One, Sasha looks for God and finds Gabriel with no fucks.
Yeah, she's like, help me, I need help because I don't know what I'm feeling. And he basically says, fuck you.
Yep, and I honestly thought he was going to kill her.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen.
That was just this whole, the whole
and then
feeling was off.
He snaps back at her and talking about, you're going to die for your sins. And I'm thinking, pot calling the kettle black?
I think he was trying to get her to off herself. That's kind of like what it was sounding to me. To put her in that mental state to put herself down.
And even in the end, when she fights back with him, you wonder if he wanted her to kill him.
That's possible too, because he was looking for his own way to be put down.
He's looking for his own way out, because then he starts breaking down about letting everyone die outside of his congregation.
Right.
And locking them out. And
right.
then, of course, a little bit later, you see them all, like, sitting around the mock church. Like, you might as well be singing fucking Kumbaya. They're... Maggie comes back, stops Sasha from shooting them, and they sit there and they're holding hands. It's like, what the fuck?
And you still have storylines that have not been rectified. You still have Glen out in the forest making his way back,
who decided not to kill Nicholas.
I don't know. You know what? He doesn't have to kill him. Okay, he broke the guy's leg. He should just fucking left him.
I think he should have just popped him off. I do. Fuck him.
But that's totally out of character for what Glen is, though. That's the problem. That's not Glen's character.
Who cares?
Hold on. I rolled. I'm diabolic. It doesn't work that way. You would, because you have no fucks to give.
I got no fucks.
I have no fucks to give with you. He's got
I'm sorry,
fucks.
after the shit that Nicholas has caused.
Yeah.
And everything that's gone on at this point, and also taking a bullet from the guy, fuck him. He's dead meat.
Definitely wouldn't invite him over for a beer.
No, I would have popped him off and he would have been done.
Then the storyline with Daryl and what's his face and Morgan all show up at the very last second as Rick throws down a body. Makes his point.
About what's going on and how the Alexandria people have no clue.
And Porch Dick Pete shows up.
And
he kind of caused some problems here. And we finally get to see that the dog is no longer on the leash anymore. Is that a good way to put it?
It's a good way to put it. The main reason being is that I don't know if they're married.
They were married.
Deanna. It is Deanna's husband. You're right.
He has the Michonne sword, which... Okay.
Obviously busted into the house.
I think he was staying in Michonne's house. I think that's what the whole beef was, is that he was at Michonne's house. That's where he was told to go, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
But the point is, he accidentally slits the senator's husband's throat.
Yeah. Deanna goes
he dies.
crazy.
Rick pulls out.
He's going to die.
They take him to the ground, try arresting him. She just looks at him and goes, do it.
And literally, Rick,
no
hesitation, bang, pops him off, and then that's when you see Aaron, Daryl, and Morgan sees Rick, and it's like, ta-da!
Here's Morgan's reaction. The first time Morgan met Rick was the greater good.
Yeah.
The second time he met Rick was still greater good. That was season 3 where he had fucks. He was still trying to bring back everyone. He wanted Morgan to come back with him. Maybe things could have been different. Maybe if Morgan would have came back with Rick's character in season 3, maybe that would have been a huge different twist.
Well, he would have went through the whole prison scenario, Woodbury.
And Morgan's gone through a lot of his own adversity. Losing his son, his wife, his son.
He's a little fucking crazy.
And now you can see he's getting his bearings back just a little. And just to see he looks at Rick as his best friend.
In a weird way.
In a really weird way. And to see his best friend pop someone, no hesitation, and he can see the darkness in Rick's soul, if that makes sense. Just the whole bang.
Yeah, like he didn't. As soon as she said, and you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Soon as he got his buddy got his throat slit, you knew, and then all of a sudden that's it. Oh, this is the way it's got to be.
Oh shit.
Do it. Bang. I was like, all right.
Now, holy God, look at that. Coming up on 30 minutes, sir.
Oh.
We haven't had a 30-minute podcast in a while.
No.
Oh, wow.
Well, we did have an extra, 20 minutes to discuss.
We did. And look at all these notes. He's scrolling notes.
Yeah,
I haven't done that in a while. All right. This is kind of a letdown. I think my favorite part of the whole episode is the ending when you saw Morgan reunite with Rick, because that's a huge storyline arc that can go so many different places. But beyond that, the episode was kind of
Yeah, I was expecting more cliffhanger. Obviously with you and your knowledge of the comics, I figure something from that might have come in.
Well, that's where it leads back to the shipping containers. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure there's a slave. Keep in mind, I read these last year, and now where the storyline is in the comic, it's so far past that it's hard to remember, I guess I would say. But Negan's coming, because they're at that part now.
Yeah.
Where the next step is Negan, which leads to the rumors that John Hamm from Mad Men might take it. I would pass heavily on that.
I don't know. I did read some articles about that, but
not a good fit. Just as much as I like John Hamm.
They were talking about him doing it, but there's no. If a role was offered to him, he would take it.
Probably.
But there's nothing concrete.
I hope he doesn't take it. It's nothing to him as his acting ability, because I actually did enjoy him in Mad Men and a couple movies he's made, like The Town and such like that. It's just not him. It just doesn't, for me, for a character he normally plays, that is not his type of character.
You need Danny Trejo.
Fuck Danny Trejo. Shitty ass movies.
Machete.
Or The Burning of the Dead, where he's headliner and he's in it for 2 minutes. Hey, whatever. They did the same thing for Executive Decision with Steven Seagal, and he lasted 10.
I was just going to make that reference, yeah.
Kurt Russell carried that movie, that's all I'm going to say. And the last vital thing before we wrap up this podcast, we got to see the 16-second teaser of Fear of the Walking Dead.
What a waste.
And I have to ask you, AJ, why is that when the world ends, it takes place in Washington, New York, or L.A.?
Because it's
Like, why?
Populated
Why
areas.
can't it happen in Ormuktuk, New Brunswick? It's more believable. That's Ryan's hometown. He was born there, and then he jumped on a plane and came over to Ontario. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say
no. It's a real town.
I thought you were going to say that was his mating call or something.
No, that's not his mating call. We made up a mating call what we used to call him again?
Ginger Husk?
The Ginger Husk. We made one.
No, we made the bat sign for him. It was a Ginger Husk signal.
No, I think I did. You used it from the. And he's like, you can't use that. That's copyright. I'm like, whatever. I get you down the highway. Takes place in Los Angeles on day 0.
Day 0, yeah.
That's going to be interesting. And it has no influence from the comic books whatsoever.
No.
It's been announced that there's no walk-ons from any of the current existing characters.
It kind of can't.
I don't say it can't. I'm saying
it can. Well, really, you figure...
No one really established where they were. Like, I mean, no one said that Morgan wasn't originally from L.A. No one ever... You see what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is most of those things happen very, very quickly in, like, Season 1, Season 2.
Right.
Which doesn't have a lot of playtime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, timeline-wise, maybe 6 months in the first 2 seasons?
I think roughly about that.
Because I think they're talking, this is like, sometime like 2.5 years later? 3 years?
I guess it's
think
possible
total.
when you put it that way.
You know, just the way the original Walking Dead is played out, no, it's too far gone cross-country, especially during like a massive epidemic like that.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to literally go across the country? No.
No. That people probably
So
would
it makes
try.
sense there's not going to be any walk-ons or... It's going to give them free reign to do whatever they want.
And that's the beauty part is that there's no one that can honestly predict where things are going to go. Because there's no comic book, there's no storyline. Like, Kirkman's obviously involved, but I mean, there's no predetermined area that they need to go to make this show work. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. When they announced that they were going to make a spin-off series, I said, it has to be Day Zero. You have to explain how this came to be. Because as it stands in the comic book, they've never explained why people are zombies.
I don't think they need to explain it.
Well,
I don't think they need to explain it. If you want to tell the story from a different angle, a different perspective, that's fine. I don't think it needs to be explained.
If they want to get 11 seasons out of The Walking Dead main, they're going to have to do some type of explanation eventually, I guess.
Not necessarily.
Well,
you just got to leave Daryl in it, and the women are going to keep watching
I don't know. Honestly, I do not foresee Norman Reedus sticking around that much longer.
Why not? It's fucking Money Train.
Season 5, how often did you see him? You did not get that many roles with him. We had one almost close call. He almost cried. It was very close.
Almost cried.
Close. So that is the end of the Droids of the Walking Dead podcast.
For this year.
For this... No, we
well,
will be back.
Not this year. This season, we'll say.
Season.
Because it will come back in October.
But we'll be back before that. We'll be back for the Fear of the Walking Dead.
Oh, we're gonna
have to. We could.
They said summer, so
well, what are we doing in the summer? Besides catching on fire and going to
we're not gonna have any fucking break at this point because Game of Thrones starts 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which
will be another 12 episodes, so that's gonna carry us into summer.
June, July, yeah.
Which will then carry probably right into Fear of the Walking Dead,
which is only 6 episodes, by the way.
What a waste then.
That's what they did for season 1 of the first Walking Dead. It was only 6 episodes.
I thought it was more than that.
I thought it was 6 or 8, whatever. And then we have some time off there. Yeah, we're really not gonna have much time. No. That's not too bad. Keeps us busy. And with that said, enjoy Chimichanga. We're going to bed.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Thanks for listening to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.